सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्रीराधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, I have great pleasure to be back with all of you to share something of my own understanding and realizations with all of you. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 6, text number 16 to 22. So I will read the shlokas and I will request the participants to read the translations. Text 16. स्वर्णार्णशतपत्रैश्च वररेणुकजातिभिः कुब्जकैर्मल्लिकाभिश्च माधवीभिश्च मण्डितम्.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Ansuya Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are other trees also which decorate the hill, such as the golden lotus flower, the cinnamon tree, Malati, Kubja, Mallika, and Madhavi. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Text 70. Panasodumbaraśvatth laksha nyagrodha hingubihi bhurjay oshadibhi pugai rajapugaischa jambubihi.
Hare Krishna. Vasudha Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kailasha hill is also decorated with such trees as kata, jackfruit, julara, banyan trees, plakshas, nyagrodhas, and trees producing asafoetida. Also, there are trees of betel nuts and bhurja patra, as well as rajapuga, blackberries, and similar other trees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Karjuramrat kamradhyaihi priyala madhukengudaihi druma jatibhir anyaischa rajitam venukicakaihi.
Meenakshi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are mango trees, Priyala, Madhuka and Induka. Besides these, there are other trees like thin bamboos, Kichaka and varieties of other bamboo trees, all decorating the tract of Kailasha Hill. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Kumudotpala Kaklara Shatapatra Vanardibhi Nalinishu Kalam Kujat Khaga Vrundopashobhitam Mrigai Shakham शाकामृगैः क्रोधैर् मृगेन्द्रैर् ऋक्षशल्यकैः गवयैः शरभैर्व्याघ्रैः रुरुभिर्महिषादिभिः.
Hare Krishna. Meenakshi Shankar Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranams Prabhuji. There are different kinds of lotus flowers. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are different kinds of lotus flowers such as Kumuda, Utpala and Satapatra. The forest appears to be decorated garden and the small lakes are full of various kinds of birds who whisper very sweetly. There are many kinds of other animals also like deer, monkeys, boars, lions, rakshas, salyakas, forest cows, forest asses, tigers, small deer, buffalo and many other animals who are fully enjoying their lives. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Text 21. Karnantraika padashvashyair nirjushtam vrkanabhibihi kadali kanda samruddha nalini pulinashriyam.
Hare Krishna. Sudha Mataji. Translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are varieties of deer such as Karnantra, Ekapada, Ashwasya, Vrka and Kasturi, the deer which bears musk. Besides the deer, there are many banana trees which decorate the small hillside lakes very nicely. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Text 22. Paryastam nandaya satyaha snana punyatarodaya vilokya bhutesha girim vibudha vismayam yayuhu.
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you can read the shloka. The translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Divya Mataji, read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. There is a small lake named Alkananda in which Sati used to take her bath, and that lake is especially auspicious. All the demigods, after seeing the specific beauty of Kailasa hill, were struck with wonder at the great opulence to be found there. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Mataji, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the commentary called Sri Bhagavat Chandra Chandrika, the water in which Sati used to bathe was Ganga water. In other words, the Ganga flowed through the Kailasha Parvata. There is every possibility of accepting such a statement because Ganga water also flows from the hair of Lord Shiva. Since Ganges water rests on the head of Lord Shiva and then flows to the other parts of the universe, it is quite possible that the water is in which Sati bathed, which was certainly very nicely scented, was Ganga water. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we are so fortunate to be reading Srimad Bhagavatam. By daily reading Bhagavatam, even a little, all the anarthas in us are almost removed. Nashta prayesh Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naitiki. Our anarthas are removed and simultaneously our devotion to the Supreme Lord also increases. Such is the blessings to those who have, with faith, they approach Srimad Bhagavatam for their purification and spiritual advancement. So I'm really grateful that I've been given an opportunity to participate in this exalted assembly and to speak something about Srimad Bhagavatam. So in these shlokas, now we are hearing a beautiful description of Mount Kailash. There are amazing details that we come to know from Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam also is called a Mohini Murti. So she doesn't reveal herself what she is really immediately. She has a way of covering herself for those who are not completely suitable. So for the Rakshasas, Mohini Murti appeared to be a beautiful damsel, and she completely confused them. They gave up Amrit. For nectar only they had fought for so long, taking so much difficulty, but at the end of the day, they gave up the Amrit completely in favor of the Devas, and they got nothing. So why did Mohini Murti act so partially? Both the Asuras and Devas were invited to churn the Milky Ocean for Amrit only. But at the end of the day, the Supreme Lord, who is considered impartial to everyone, but what he did as Mohini Murti, totally bewildered the Asuras and gave the nectar only to the Devas, only to the Devas. And then she disappeared. So, how do we understand this pastime? Is the Lord really impartial? So, the answer to that comes from a proper reading of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, that the Lord sees everyone as a soul. The Lord is interested in our souls, and the souls are all children of the Lord. So the Lord knows that any soul that has come into this material world and lacks Krishna consciousness is bound to suffer indefinitely. Until they come to Krishna consciousness, they are bound to suffer. So Krishna only wants to free the soul and purify them and take them back home, back to God. So whatever happens to the material world, material body in this material world is inconsequential. We should not be bothering too much about my own wealth, my own family situation, my own reputation. All these things have absolutely no significance. One day when we leave this body, everything is gone. But we don't think about it. We think I will live forever. We think other things are important also. The only problem is the spirit soul, which is like rainwater, completely pure, like crystal. It has fallen into this muddy earth, as a result of which they have become apparently mixed up. The soul never mixes with matter, actually. But it has apparently mixed up, and we have taken up the false ego. Our true ego, we have forgotten as Jivera Surupahai Krishna Nityadas. And we have taken up a false ego, as a result of which we continue to suffer, thinking, I am this body only. I am this body. Whatever happens to this body actually happens to me. So somehow or the other, I have to maintain this body. So this is where the trap actually lies. The most important thing is that we have to have a clear understanding of what is the body and what is the soul. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Prabhupada would speak this shloka very, very often to help us to understand that we are not really the doers. We are not the proprietor, we are not the controller, we are not the enjoyer. It is only the three modes. The entire material world is simply a combination of the three modes. Combination, recombination, recombination of the material modes. That creates the entire material situation. As a result of which, the soul becomes thoroughly bewildered to forget the Supreme Lord. Why the Lord has done like that? Because we desired. So the question is always asked, why did the Lord create the material world? The perfect answer Prabhupada gives, Lord did not create this material world. This material world was created by us because we wanted to enjoy separately from the Lord. Then, people will go on asking like this, why did God put the desire in us? God did not put the desire in us. The soul was given independence. The Lord is supremely independent. So someone asked me in another class, why did the Lord give us independence? If the Lord did not give us independence, we will complain. Why am I not free? So the independence is given to us. But the independence, Prabhupada calls it minute independence. Why? Because the Lord is completely Swarat, he is Vibhu, and we are Anu. So our independence is also Anu, proportionately. Like a drop of the water represents the ocean. The soul represents the Supreme Lord, actually. We have an infinitesimal independence, which is meant to be surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So we have a choice. How to exercise that choice? We have to exercise the choice by choosing to surrender our choice at the lotus feet of the Lord and to live our life according to his guidance. That is the way independence is to be used. As long as our independence tries to function independently from the will of the Lord, we are going to suffer. So the correct way to utilize our freedom is to surrender that freedom to the lotus feet of the Lord, to the lotus feet of the Guru, and to take the instructions and accordingly structure our own lives to be in accordance with that. So even today morning in ISKCON Chennai, there was a nice class by Her Grace Vishnupriya Mataji, who is the wife of His Grace Sankarshan Das Adhikari. And there was a nice shloka we were discussing, exactly like similar to this, a description of Dwarka. How opulent the city of Dwarka is, how it is full of fruit trees, beautiful gardens, paths and lakes, filled with beautiful lotus flowers, how the streets were so beautiful, nicely washed with scented water every day. The whole place was so pleasing to the heart and mind. And that is where the citizens of Dwarka live. Dwarka is full of cities, but the cities are like this. So green, so pure, so filled with beautiful parks and gardens and lakes and lotus ponds. Mataji explained that these are, Prabhupada's purport also says this, that all these things are required to develop the finer tissues in our brain cells. Without that, we cannot appreciate spiritual life. We cannot even come to an understanding of something as subtle as the soul. Soul is so very subtle. We are all totally engrossed in gross matter, trying to enjoy gross matter like computers and washing machines and refrigerators and air coolers and whatnot. We are totally trapped in this, so much so that we are totally removed from nature. We are so removed from nature. If someone asks, where do you get your water from? Where do you get your food from? Anything. We'll attribute it to some brand. We don't know that it's all given by Lord. Water comes from rain, from the lakes, from the rivers. But we don't understand that. We think water comes from a tap, and that water comes from the overhead tank, and the overhead tank comes from a bore well. We will never connect it to nature. Hardly we get to walk on Mother Earth. We are either wearing our shoes or we are standing several floors above the earth and walking on some concrete tiles. So we have been systematically removed from nature by modern living, as a result of which we are disconnecting from God also. So here we see a beautiful description of Mount Kailash. And sometimes it is amazing. Mount Kailash is supposed to be where Lord Shiva lives. And it is also looking exactly like our material world in one sense. All the trees are named and we are familiar with most of them, that they exist here also. So what is the difference between spiritual world and material world? Okay, Kailash may not be exactly spiritual world, but somewhere close to that, right? We read from Brahma Samhita, Goloka namni nijadamni talecha tasya devi mahesha haridam suteshu teshu te te prabhav chaya prabha vihitascha yena govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So the Supreme Lord lives in Goloka, which is the highest planetary system. And then there is Devidama, which is the starting point where we all live. This is Devida, this material creation, Devida. Then there is the Maheshadam. So Maheshadam is above the Devidam. Devidam is the place where the trapped souls in material existence, we all live there, right up to Brahmaloka. It's all Devidam. So the Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, Mahar, Jana, Tapa, Satya. And below that also, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patha. All these 14 planetary systems, they are all within this material creation. This is all Devida, Durga Devi. She controls. This is Durga. Very difficult to get out of this place, even though it has no walls, no guards, nothing. It's totally open, but still it is impossible. Daivi Yesha Ganamayi, Mama Maya, Duratya. So very difficult to escape from this place. But Maheshadam is not here. Maheshadam is above Devidam. Right? Then you have Haridham. And highest of Haridham is Goloka Vrindavan. So Maheshadam is a transcendental place. But there's a prototype of the Maheshadam, which is there in Mount Kailash. Just like the Milky Ocean, there is a Milky Ocean here in this material creation also, right? So like that, it's like an embassy of the spiritual world, Prabhupada would say, the Milky Ocean, where to the brink of which Brahma can go. He will go to the shore of the Milky Ocean, and then he will meditate on the Lord. And sometimes the Lord may give darshan, or the Lord may simply speak into the heart of Brahma to clarify whatever problems he is having. So like that, this Mount Kailash is a prototype of Mahesh Dham. And we know about Mount Kailash, about Lake Mansarovar. So many people aspire to go there. So beautiful, so virgin, so unpolluted place. So like that, we see the description of the Mahesh Dham here, which is present here in this material world. In Vastu also, we say Kuver is the Lord of the North. Right? Kuver is the Lord of the North. And who is Kuver? Just now we have passed our Damodar month. You know, Kuver is the treasurer of the Devatas. Right? Very rich and very opulent. And he has given space to Lord Shiva in the northeast corner. He is in the north and Shiva is in northeast. We call it Ishanya. No? Ishanya. Lord Shiva lives there. And that is the description of that place we are seeing here, you know, Mount Kailash, and how Kailash is filled with beautiful forests and beautiful trees and plants and creepers and so many animals, which we see in this material world also, same animals, same birds and all those things. But one nice thing is mentioned here, that they were all fully enjoying their lives. They were not suffering. So why do they not suffer? The same setup, if we are given here, it was given to us actually. The Lord gave us the same arrangement. What we have done to it? In Chennai, there are three prominent waterways. Three prominent waterways. They are called Kuvam, Buckingham Canal, and Adyar River. Three very prominent waterways in Chennai. And what are they carrying today? Sewage. 100% sewage. Life cannot live there. You drop a worm and it will die. Nothing can live. And who has done this? And this Kuam, amazingly, I came to know some years ago that this Kuam was a pristine waterway. Maybe even 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. Pristine waterway. People were navigating on that. Boats would ply on that. Birds would swim on that. Such a beautiful place God has given. And this Kuam has been sung about in the Sangam literature. Sangam literature means minimum 2000 years old. Tamil Sangam literature is minimum 2000 years old. And in those literature, Kuam has been sung about. Ah, so beautiful. The trees and vegetation and flowers and fruits on the banks of the Kuam. The nice pristine water flowing on which swans are swimming, ducks are swimming, peacocks are singing from the roof of treetops and making beautiful sounds. That was Kuam. So God has not denied anything to us in this material world. We should not think that something special I am going to find in the spiritual world, which is not there in the material world. No, the Lord has not done any such distinction. I will tell you a small story, which I have told to several other groups in the past. The Devatas and Asuras, they both went to, no, they both didn't go. The Asuras went to the Lord and complained, why you are so partial? You have taken care of the Devatas so nicely. They are enjoying all opulences. They are so happy. And we are always so miserable. Why is this? Are we also not your children? And they wept. The Lord laughed and he said, okay, actually I am not partial to anyone. But let me give you a simple arrangement by which you will understand that I am actually neutral. He said, I am going to arrange a huge feast for both Devatas and Asuras. The menu is the same, but we are going to seat them in two different halls. All Asuras in one hall, all Devatas in another hall. Same arrangement will be there, same menu, same assistants who will serve the prasadam, everything. Okay, and after half an hour, I will come and inspect both the places. Okay, so yes, it started. So very nice food was served. All the asuras were eager. Now we will enjoy it so nicely. Then Vishnu said, one condition, I forgot to mention to you, there is one condition. What is that condition? You can enjoy the feast as much as you want. But one condition, you should not bend your elbow while eating. The elbow should not be bent. You have to keep your arm straight. And then you can eat. Imagine how to do that. And the Lord said the condition is for Devatas and Asuras both. Not that only for Asuras I am putting this. No, for both. Now, half an hour later, I'm going to come and see. Half an hour later, when the Lord came to see the Asuras, he saw they are done complete abhishekam in food, but nothing had entered into the mouth. Not even a morsel by mistake had gone. They are like this. They cannot drink a drop of water also. And in front of them, there is a nice spread, beautiful banquet, so much amazing food. No pleasure. Everything is given, but no joy, no happiness, no enjoyment. Then the Lord said, okay, let us go to see the Devatas and Asuras. Please accompany me. Let us see what has happened there. So Asuras went. And Devatas had nicely cleaned up the leaves. They had enjoyed so beautiful feast. And they were so grateful to the Lord for giving us such amazing prasadam. They are all so happy, fulfilled. Not only that the stomach was fulfilled, but they had had such an amazing exchange of love between them. It had enhanced their mutual love and affection. Devata said, Asura said, foul, 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 something, they have violated the rule or you have given them some kind of a trick. No, no, we won't accept that. Then the Lord said, no, no, I will not speak. Let the Devatas speak for themselves. How did you overcome this condition and how did you all eat? You all look so well nourished. And the Asuras are famished. Same thing. Devatas nourished, Asuras famished. Why? Then the Devatas explained, oh Lord, it was not a difficult condition at all. In fact, it was a mercy that you had given us. It was so nice. You know, we all picked up from the neighbor's leaf and we fed him. We all fed the neighbors and they all ate so nice. And the neighbor was feeding his neighbor. Like the Rasalila pastime, Rasa Mandala, Krishna gopis, Krishna gopis, Krishna gopis. Like that. They were enjoying unlimitedly that feast. Because it's not often that you get to feed another person, you know. But by the mercy of the Lord, there was an opportunity to feed. There was I don't know whether it really happened. They said in America sometime, in one of the toll gates, somebody bought a toll ticket, but not one, but two. And they said, this is for the car that is coming behind me. So the next car came to the gate, unknown people, but the toll assistant said, no need to buy. The one who went ahead of yours bought it for you. Huh? They did like that. This person became so happy, but no, but still, I will buy for the car that is coming behind me. Huh? So it went on for a long time. And everybody felt happy. You are paying the same amount, but still, I'm doing for my neighbor and it gives great happiness. So Devatas have that attitude. They are so happy feeding one another. They had no problem at all to resolve this rule. For the Asuras, it became a stringent rule. Oh, this rule. Why this rule is there? It should not be there. How can we enjoy our life? Why no meat eating? Why no intoxication? Why no illicit sex? Oh, we cannot live without it. Prabhupada used to say, one of his God brothers, he went to London and he was preaching. And one Zetland, I think the Lord of Zetland, like a king, he became very much interested. He said, can you make me a Brahmana? They said, why not? We can make you a Brahmana. Oh, tell me what you should do. You have to follow simple 4 regulative principles. No meat, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. Impossible. Impossible. Cannot be done. And this god brother of Prabhupada also, when he returned, with all due respect, is that it's very difficult to spread Krishna consciousness in the Western world. How Prabhupada did that? It is our unlimited good fortune that Prabhupada succeeded in the West, because in India, none of us were interested. None of us. None of our predecessors, none of our ancestors really were interested. Prabhupada struggled until he was 70 years old. Not that Prabhupada was not trying. At the age of 26, he met his spiritual master. 1922, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he received the instructions. You preach. You go to the West, preach in English language, print books, and distribute. These instructions he received. But the time did not come. Prabhupada was young. He had his family. He already had a child. And he was trying to develop business, earn money, and serve Krishna. Prabhupada always thought, if I earn more money, I can serve my Guru Maharaj so nicely. I can serve Krishna so nicely. He was so anxious to do that. But not that between that age of 26 and 70 years, Prabhupada did nothing to preach or serve his spiritual master. On the contrary, Prabhupada was very, very busy. So much so that he had to even neglect his business. For example, when Prabhupada was in Allahabad, Prayag, he would go to Jhansi, not for business. First time he went for business, but then also he did not do business. He was only all the time preaching, talking about Krishna consciousness. And he thought, oh, in Jhansi, people are all very spiritually minded people. I will go and speak to them about Bhagavad Gita. Then Prabhupada started going regularly. He was cultivating. He was neglecting his business in Prayag. Not consciously neglecting, but he was absorbed in his preaching activity because he saw people suffering and he wanted to give this mercy to them. But time and again, by the will of the Lord, Prabhupada's efforts did not succeed. Prabhupada made only one disciple in India until he became 70 years old, Acharya Prabhakar. Just one disciple he made. That was in Jhansi. So we did not take it, actually. Then fortunately, Prabhupada went, and those hippies, they loved Srila Prabhupada. They surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. They were willing to act on every instruction of Srila Prabhupada, taking it seriously in their life. And then Prabhupada brought these dancing white elephants back to India. And he made them dance in every stage. He took them on a tour of the planet, tour of India, and taking them everywhere. He made them sing, kirtan, dance. The stages of Prabhupada were special, Huge stage would be made. Pandal programs, huge stage. Why? To accommodate all these Western devotees, boys and girls, to dance, sing, kirtan, and dance. Until Prabhupada comes to give class, they would be dancing from the stage. So, and the Indians slowly, they started getting attracted. And that is how Krishna consciousness came to us. Prabhupada had to first attract people. Prabhupada was asked, why do you build such opulent temples? Why do you spend so much money on your ISKCON temples? Why can't you have a simple temple and use the money to do charity? So many poor people are there. So many people have no homes. So many people have no proper clothes. So many people lack medicines. Why do you do this like this? Lavishly doing abhishek, liters and liters of milk and honey and yogurt and all these things. Why? What did Prabhupada answer? Can anyone guess? From Prabhupada Leela. What was Prabhupada's answer? Hare Krishna. From the silence, I understand that you all agree with the questioner.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji, to what to express, so that is not coming in our mind, Mataji. Prabhuji, you are taking us somewhere in some other planet. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna. Prabhupada said, I have no problem. I can sit under any tree and preach Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I am ready. But how many of you will come? How many of you will come? My mission is to serve you all. I want to serve you. Whatever I am doing is actually to serve you. If I build an opulent temple, if I have opulent sevas, if I have opulent prasadams, everything is for you. Unless you come, how do I preach? You have to come. That's why I'm doing. Actually, this is one of the answers. There can be many more answers to this particular question. Right? Why are we suffering? From today's session, that is where we started. There is no difference between material world and spiritual world except consciousness. This very material world can be a spiritual world. No difference. Let us not imagine that Krishna has purposely kept a beautiful spiritual world and a hopeless material world. Let us not assume like that. Let us not assume like that. Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was on his deathbed. He was in his early 50s. And he had prayed to the Lord, "Oh Lord, I am seeing devotees struggling to advance due to their vasanas and the karma, whatever they have accumulated. They are finding it difficult to progress and they are struggling. So, oh Lord, let me take all their sins on myself." Like, Vasudeva Datta, he prayed. And soon he got a horrible cancer. Cancer that ravages the whole body. So by and by, he lost his legs, the legs with which he used to have such amazing kirtans, dancing kirtans. He used to mesmerize people by his dancing. Those legs went. And then from his body, so many huge bumps were appearing, painful bumps all over the body. Every moment he would be suffering pain. And uncontrollably tears of pain would come from his eyes. And by his side was His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in his last days. So he recollects the time he spent. Actually, his doctors had told him, "You have only 3 days to live." So he called His Holiness Radhanath Swami, who was so dear to him, "I want to die on your lap." So Radhanath Swami was there, thinking he had many, many engagements. But still, my dear friend is calling. Anyway, it is only 3 days, I will go. But it was not 3 days. He lived 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. Maharaj could not tear himself away and go. He was waiting. So 3 weeks went like this. And they had amazing time together, sharing. Actually, his journey home came only because of Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. He said, "Why are you so selfish? Why are you keeping your story to yourself? Your story of how you came to Krishna consciousness. Why are you keeping it away from the world?" Actually, Radhanath Maharaj had a different take on it. He said, "Why should I talk about myself? I should talk about Krishna. I should talk about great souls. Why should I talk about myself?" So he would never say. Even most of his very close disciples did not know what was his story until this book came out. But Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he said, "Look, it is not your story. It is a story of a sincere seeking soul, and how the Supreme Lord navigates his way in such a beautiful manner that he ultimately finds God. He is protected. There are challenges, there are struggles, there are life-threatening situations, but the Lord protects him all the way and connects him to his spiritual master eventually. To him, he surrenders his independence at last." So how this happened? So he said, "You should write this story because a lot of people will get hope from this. A lot of people who are seeking, but they are not getting the answers. By reading your book, they will know God is there and He will protect me. He will show me the way. Even if I don't have my guru now, God is with me. And he will eventually show me the Guru. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. Krishna sends the Guru and Guru gives Krishna. It's a cycle. Then people will take heart by reading your book. So that is how the book came. Anyway, that is an aside. So Radhanath Swami was watching Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj undergoing so much pain. But same time, he would be happily, laughingly discussing Krishna Katha with Radhanath Swami. They would have so much nice discussions. But same time, his body will be shaking. His tears will be flowing because of the pain. But then he saw one wide smile come upon the face of Bhakti Tirtha Swami. And then he said, you know, Radhanath, I will not exchange this place for anything else. I am enjoying such bliss of Krishna that it is amazing. Our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, has not cheated us. He has given us the ultimate. I am really enjoying that bliss. And amazingly, just before he was going to die, somehow devotees from Vrindavan appeared. And they were having nice kirtan for hours together. And that is how he passed in such a glorious manner. So we have a problem. We look at everything with material eyes, even though our spiritual master has given us Shastra Chaksha. Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Why do we glorify the spiritual master every day? Because he has opened our real eyes of Shastra. So henceforth, Shastra must be our eyes. This Charma Chakshu, the Chakshu, the eyes on the skin, they are of flesh. They don't show you the real scene. So the way we approach the scripture, that is the way we should approach the world around us, with complete faith that this is part of Krishna. The material world is not vibhinna. It's not separate from Krishna, because there can be nothing separate from Krishna. What is separate is only our consciousness, our forgetfulness. We have forgotten Krishna. Why? Because we wanted to forget. For everything, the answer is not outside. Answer is within us. We wanted to forget. We have forgotten. Then how to get back that memory? Any answers? How to get back that memory? What we have lost?
Chanting Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that is a perfect answer to all questions.
Associating with devotees, Prabhu.
Yeah, association with devotees. Yes. And before that,
Reading scriptures,
absolutely.
Scriptures.
and knowing, visualizing is the Leelas, visiting the Dhams.
Yes.
Spiritual master will tell us.
Yes. I agree with all the answers. But we have to go one step even before that.
Desire, Prabhuji, we should have desire to remember him.
Amazing. Amazing. We desire to forget Krishna. That is the starting point. And we forgot. Now we desire to remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Smartavyam satata Krishna, vismartavyam najadachit. These are the only two rules. Are there two rules? No, there are one rule. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So when we desire, everything will happen. Many times Prabhupada answered questions like this. You desire, you desire, you desire. That is the answer to all these questions. Everything will follow. Ye yata mam prapatyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. That's what Krishna says. Not that Krishna is partial to his devotees. No, who stopped you from becoming a devotee? Right? Everyone can become a devotee. Where is it stopped? Krishna has not stopped us. Rather, he is telling us. Whatever he is telling Arjun, Arjun is never bewildered. Do you believe that Arjun was bewildered? In fact, some people say, I don't know, from a misreading of the scriptures, some people say, Arjuna went to Swarga. Why Arjuna will go to Swarga? Arjuna is an eternal associate of the Lord. He is Naranarayan. He is the husband of Subhadra Devi, whom we worship in Puri. Why Arjuna will go to heaven? Arjuna is the eternal associate of the Supreme Lord. Right? So he is speaking to Arjuna by putting him in a so-called bewilderment. Arjuna is not to be bewildered, ever. But Arjuna asks such amazing questions on our behalf. And Krishna gives the answers. This is the way of Krishna. Krishna will always put the questions in someone's mouth and he will supply answers. Or sometimes he will ask questions and will bring the answers out from the mouth of a devotee. Have you seen any book like that? Anywhere you have come across? We don't know Krishna so much, but we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a lot. Right? By the mercy of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and of course, our own dear Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, who would know Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Chaitanya Charitamrita? By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we can intimately know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart. So, do anyone remember somewhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita where someone says, oh, you put the words in my mouth, I am not speaking, I am simply a doll. Anyone? Hare Krishna.
Ramananda Raya?
Hare Krishna. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ramananda Raya. And then also Haridas Thakur. Harinam Chintamani. Everything. He says, I am not speaking. You are speaking through me. So devotee never has this feeling that I am speaking. Krishna only is speaking. So he questions and he brings the answer. So like that, all these answers are there with us. The point is, I supply the best quality food to you, the most nourishing, the most tasty, the most life strengthening food to you. Will you benefit from that? Please, answers.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Provided we consume it in the proper way. Provided we accept it in the proper way, considering the gratitude of the Lord.
That is called appetite. To receive in the correct way means appetite. I should have the hunger. They say fire in the belly. What is the fire in the belly? Vaishvanaragni. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva pradinam deham ashrita pranapana samayuktam pachami annam chaturvidam. Krishna says, I am not only the food, I am also the digestive fire. You should have that desire. Everything is around us. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is lacking? All the devotee association you want is around you. Unlimited number of lectures, unlimited number of videos, temples, programs, festivals. We have. What is lacking for us? Do you think this is not the spiritual world? This is. We are in Vaikuntha. The problem is with our own consciousness. Krishna is telling, please change your consciousness. Man mana, bhavamad bhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru. That's all Krishna is saying. Arey, come on, just turn your mind to me. As simple as that. Looking away from Krishna, we see the shadow. Looking away from Krishna. We are close to Krishna actually. But you look away, you see the shadow. You just turn and you see Krishna. As simple as that. So what is lacking is a desire. Many people, why Mayavad is such a disturbance on society? Can anyone answer this? Why? Why Mayavad is such a disturbance on the society?
Because they have the concept that the Lord is not having the personal form and they do not have any connection with the Lord and everything is void after the life is finished. So that's why they cause a disturbance, and because of that, the Sanatan Dharma is also being lost.
Yes. Thank you. Any other answers?
They're taking us away from the Lord by giving all such examples. Like no form, nothing like that. They're making us to forget Him.
True. So what happens? By making
We will not get the personal relationship with the Lord.
yes. So what happens? So what happens? Build on it. You are all absolutely
They have their own
have
arguments
love for
and
the Lord.
philosophy, Prabhuji.
yes. Then what happens?
So
The
we will
desire
have
is
love
We
for
forget the Lord
Then
and we
we
keep
forget the
dwindling in
Lord.
this material world.
Yes. Why?
We are always away from the Lord, far away from the Lord.
Because Prabhuji, then we will not develop love for the Lord. No, if we don't see Him in the form, then we are not serving Him. Then we can't develop love for the Lord.
Yes. What is that called?
Prema Bhakti.
That is very high.
Prema.
Very high. I don't know what is prema.
Bhakti.
Desire.
Bhakti yoga.
Uh-huh.
Love of God.
The higher.
Attachment.
Higher taste.
Prabhuji.
Higher
For the lower
taste.
taste. Give up the lower taste.
That doesn't come. That higher taste can come only in devotion, in association of devotees, in hearing from devotees, in reading scriptures. The higher taste comes in this form of arupa, nirvishesha, shunyavad, mayavad. What happens? I am speaking from realization. No? I was a mayavadi until I was a staunch mayavadi. I was a staunch anti-devotees. Someone came to preach to me, a young boy. He would come to me. I was in Mangalore at that time, working. This boy would come. Oh, we have a center. Please come, Prabhu. We will tell you about Vishnu. I used to tell him, what Vishnu? I know everything. What do you know? I know everything. I never went. And it took many more years for me to eventually come to Krishna consciousness. And in one day, the devotees, the work of 30 years, what I had accumulated in one day, they made it into smithereens, destroyed it completely. And I became happy for the first time in my life. All the Mayavad never made me happy. You know what it does? Mayavad does. You get a philosophy and you become satisfied with that philosophy, but it doesn't satisfy you also in the real sense. You never become happy with that. And you think, oh, I become a better Mayavadi, then I'll be happy. So you try to become a better Mayavadi. You try to meditate on the void. You try to empty your mind of all thoughts and feelings. And you try to sit like that without moving in one place. Nothing happens. You become more miserable than ever. That's what Mayavad does. Because, and then what happens, like a ball bouncing off the wall, Mayavad forces you to try to enjoy material sense gratification to the fullest. This eventually happens to a Mayavadi. You think that at the end of the day, there is nothing. At the end of the day, there is nothing. Mayavad is simply camouflaged atheism. There is nothing really. So what happens? A Mayavadi bounces off to come back and enjoy the senses as much as possible. Because you tell him, you are God. You are God. So you can choose to become God anytime you want. Okay, I will choose later. Now I will enjoy. After all, I am God. Let me enjoy whatever is available. From my personal experience, I don't know whether all Mayavadis are like me only, but it happened to me. Only when I came to Krishna consciousness, I realized that the real test is what, Real test is what? You are willing to discipline your life. And that disciplining life and to give up all the acquired bad habits of unlimited lifetimes, that is the real test that you are coming to Krishna consciousness, that you are really becoming happy. The rules which we always like to break, now you start relishing the rules. You are so happy that the rules exist. And it's not a problem at all. They are no longer rules. The rules have now become your friends. Rule is something, you always try to bash your head against it. Somehow I want to break through the rule. But now, no. Joyful that the rules are there, that they are helping you, that they are protecting you, that they are taking care of you. So this is how we wrongly approach Krishna. Sometimes people say, why Krishna is always saying I. Everywhere in Bhagavad Gita is always talking about I. Why he's so egoistic? So some people have resolved this problem foolishly. What they resolved? No, it's not Krishna speaking, It is the formless something, Brahman within Krishna who is speaking, not Krishna. Krishna is a body like you and I. It is a Brahman. You are also Brahman. I am also Brahman. Everybody Brahman. So the Brahman has taken a material form like Krishna. Krishna died, He was killed by a hunter's arrow. You see, like us, ordinary person. He died. You have to surrender to that Brahman within. That Brahman is within you also. You can surrender to yourself. Anyway, Hare Krishna, I think my time is up. Thank you for all your patient listening. I just spoke something that was just coming to my mind. There may be faults, there may be mistakes, there may be things that may offend people. I request all of you to tolerate me for this. But I just spoke what was strongly coming out of me. I spoke that. I hope if there is something good for all of you, it is all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his devotees. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, you kindly ask me.
Brilliant. Very, very. The time passed.
Hare Krishna Mataji, your voice is very feeble, Mataji. We
Yeah,
can't.
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
Yes,
yeah.
Mataji.
Thank you. I'm so sorry for that. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Your class was so genuine. It felt it is coming from the heart only. Prabhuji, there is a question, there is a request by Divya Mataji, and same was my request that how did you get convinced from Maya? If you could narrate your story to us, Prabhu, how you got converted from Mayavadi to ISKCON in just a day. Prabhuji, please, if you can.
I will very briefly tell that it was the Back to Godhead magazine. That was the first introduction to ISKCON for me, the international edition. I found it in the waiting room of a dentist's office. I was waiting for a root canal treatment. And I found a heap of these Back to Godhead old magazines there. And I started reading. And I could not take my eyes off. So from the very first sitting, when my turn came, I said, no, next person go, next person go, next person go. Nobody likes to wait in a dentist's office, but I relished it so much. I was reading these books, article after article, article after article. And there were 3 sittings and my business was finished. I regretted, oh, my business is finished. Now I won't come here anymore. I asked him, where did you get these books from? I have never seen such a book in this whole world. Where did you get it? He did not answer me. He said, this Sunday, you come with me, I will take you to some place. And we took me to the temple. And the temple was filled with devotees. I could see only the back of their heads. They were all standing and jumping up and down, up and down. Gents on one side, ladies on the other side, jumping. I said, oh, what is this? I could see nothing. The altar was not visible. Only heads. And he took my hand. And he did not leave my hand. In between the gents and ladies, almost there was an invisible gap. He dragged me through that. I was so scared somebody will step on my bare feet. He dragged me literally through the whole crowd, and then we were in front of the altar. I thought, oh, he was bringing me here only. But he did not stop there. He continued to drag me to the side of the altar. I did not have enough darshan to feast on the beautiful form of the Lord. No, he dragged me and he took me by a side small door and he took me. Then there were a whole lot of toilets. My hand was still in his, so I could not pull away. I was there. And he said, he called a particular devotee's name. Where is this devotee? Where is this devotee? And that devotee was eventually coming to use the washroom. And he caught him. And he took my hand and put my hand in his hand. And he said, now you ask all your questions. So that is how my spiritual life started. And that day he started a Bhagavad Gita course for 7 days. And I was asked, would you like to join? I joined that course. 7 days later, I was told another advanced Gita course is starting by another devotee. Would you like to join? I said, yes, I will join. In the meantime, my wife also joined. Together we practiced, and Maybe because so many years of following a dry Mayavad, I was so absorbed into Krishna consciousness. I would cry only all the time.
Prabhu, thank you so much for sharing. I had goosebumps throughout the way you were telling and describing. It is really Sikriti only. Which year was this, Prabhuji?
2002, June 30th.
Oh,
Hare Prabhu, which place was this, Prabhu?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Okay, Hare Krishna.
oh, Mumbai it was. Oh, okay, okay. Juhu Temple.
Chowpatty.
Chowpatty. Okay.
Juhu is too large. You cannot hide the deities.
Hari bol. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you
I
so much for
visited.
sharing. So this shows that you are having some tinge of bhakti inside you. So even the Brahman realization also needs some tinge of bhakti to realize. So only when we have that bhakti, then we can go ahead. So that's what even Prabhupada also says in his purports, right? So even the Brahman realization also, the Mayavadis are of two kinds. One is the Brahman realization and one is just accept it's only the void. So in of those two, the Brahman realization souls, they will get the chance to come above, to rise above that. So that's how you have been chosen by Krishna.
But having said
To
that,
come.
Mataji, having said that, see, the real test is that what is your desire? That is the real test. If your desire
But Prabhuji, you didn't
is
have the desire, no, Prabhuji? When somebody took you, until you came across that magazine, you never had any desire because you didn't know what it was.
no, but I had dissatisfaction. I was looking for something higher because there was dissatisfaction in my heart. I was not happy. I was practicing. I was believing Mayavad, but it did not make me happy. So you see, the soul always has a hankering for happiness. That did not allow me to stop. And that Paramatma knew that this soul has this hankering. Maybe I don't know the answers, but the hankering was there. I was fully disappointed with Mayavad. But I did not know anything better than that. So, as you were saying, Mataji, if an impersonalist has his goal to merge in Brahman, right? Okay, for that, but he will not become a bhakta. Bilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttama. That's the bhakti. So you have to have the desire to serve Krishna in a favorable way. That should be your only desire. Anya abhilashita shunyam. So a Mayavadi who is a time-serving devotee saying for some time I have to worship, all right, I will worship, but eventually I want to become one with Brahman. They will not become a devotee.
So, but Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. So, in this case, then we can see even Shukadev Goswami, as soon as he was born, he was like a Brahman realized person. He didn't have, he was not a Bhakti Yoga person. So, then later, while hearing the Lord's glories, then he became a very good, staunch devotee of the Lord. So, that's how we hear from Bhagavatam, right?
That is
So
to show Atma Ramasya Munayo. See, even Atma Ramas, they are enjoying within. Even they get attracted to the brilliant stories of the Lord. And stories like the four Kumaras and Sukadeva Goswami, they are all of some exalted souls and they are presented to us for a particular reason. You know, these are all some special pastimes by which to show us that even if you have an attraction to impersonalism, please understand that there is something higher. There is something higher. And especially if Mayavad, impersonalism is not pleasing you, it is not giving you the happiness you are looking for, then hey, come on, I am giving you an alternative. Something that will please you perfectly. If someone is happy with Mayavad, satisfied, then God save them. God save them. Really no hope, as we can see. But
Okay,
God
so
of
that
the transfer.
the desire point
Mataji
lies in
had a
there, right?
question.
So one who is satisfied and one who is not satisfied in the Mayavadi philosophy. So that is the desire you are saying, right?
Yeah.
So,
That desire. That desire, I don't know. That desire could be the Akyata Sukriti of past lifetimes.
yeah, that's all.
Like that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, even before Shraddha, he has three things, Then you come to Shraddha. So, Mataji, without our knowledge, so many forces are working around us. Why did I go to the dentist? There is a story behind that also. That will be too much time. But somehow I went to that particular dentist for my root canal. Who did that? So many things in our life we take as accident. Prabhupada says again and again, there is no accident. All our scientists, they are so proud to discover cause and effect relationships in everything. They want to predict when it will rain, why it will rain, how it will rain. They want to predict everything. Why? Because they say there is a cause and effect relationship. We study the cause and we can predict the effect. They say that. But the same people, when it comes to creation, how these incompatible things coexist in science, you see? Science readily accepts accidents. Big Bang. What is Big Bang? Something happened. How life came? By accidental mixing of chemicals, life came. Everything accident. Anything spiritual, you talk to them, they will say accident, mythology. That's all. You try to explain the accident to them. No, it's not an accident. It's deliberate by a supreme power. They will say, mythology. And that is scientist for you. But the moment it is within their domain, they want to prove everything. That is a problem with medicine. If there are some doctors among you, my sincere apologies to all of you. But the doctors, the medical science assumes that they know everything about my body. They don't even know the presence of a soul within my body. How do they understand my body? How are they competent to treat me? But anyway, whatever we have to make use of that. Thank you. Right.
Prabhuji, then why do these Mayavadis, they worship deities like in Sringeri and all? Why even they have these elaborate, like if they think the God is impersonal, then I'm sorry, it's not that I favor them. It's just that I, as a 8-year-old child, I was told that, and for a long time I was in that belief. But this question always stayed that, why it is and why do they do this, Prabhuji?
There is nothing wrong with that, Mataji. Actually, there is nothing wrong in this world at all. It is wrong to use the word wrong in this world at all. Right? There are 84 lakh species of life. And the soul is evolving through all these 84 lakh species. And in human beings alone, there are 4 lakh species. And there is evolution taking place through all these bodies. Eventually, we leave one body and we take on another body. But the soul is constantly evolving to understanding who I am. Once you enter the human form of life, the question starts. Right? From where did I come? Who am I? So that is where. So then we are placed on a ladder in many steps. Though we are all appearing like human beings, similar to each other, but we are all at different steps of that ladder. And God is so kind and compassionate. He has given scriptures to meet the needs of all types of people. That's why it is an offense to blaspheme the scriptures, not only Bhakti scriptures. It is an offense to blaspheme any scriptures. It is an offense to blaspheme demigod worship. It's an offense. We cannot blaspheme demigods nor the demigod worshippers. It's wrong. And Krishna says, don't disturb them. Don't disturb them. I am strengthening their faith. They have got some faith at last. I am strengthening that faith. I am encouraging them to worship the demigod out of love for them. Who can love us more than Krishna? He constantly is aware that we are all his children. We forget he is our father all the time. But he never forgets that we are his children. So he is telling, don't disturb the faith of these people. Engage them in all kinds of karmic activities. Make them perform pujas, make them perform yajnas, make them perform tapasyas. Let them do. Eventually, they will grow and they will develop the appetite for something higher. Then you give it to them. But Prabhupada says, but devotees are very merciful. We don't wait like that. We try to give it to them, but in an inoffensive way. We don't do it in an offensive way. We try to feed them prasadam. We try to give them nice darshans of the Lord. We try to give them good stories. So So, for those people who are interested in impersonalism, we cannot thrust deity worship on them. But this deity worship was introduced by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya, you know, is Lord Shiva, right? And he's said to have started the Shanmata, 6 mathas within Hinduism, you know, Ganapatya, Kaumara, Shaurya, Shakta, Shaiva, Vaishnava. Vaishnava is also part of the 6. And he said, you worship any of them, Ishtadevta, and you will make progress. You do make progress. They do fulfill your desires. Why? Because they are empowered arms of the Lord. They are the departmental heads of this universal administration. Prabhupada's beautiful language. They are the departmental heads of this universal administration of Krishna. They are all devotees of Krishna. They are all serving Krishna. So there is nothing wrong with this, what Shankaracharyas are teaching us. Yes, these demigods can fulfill your desires as long as you have some material desires. But then, of course, Bhagavatam says, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamarudaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena ejaita purusha param. You worship Purusha Param, highest Lord you worship. Whether you have no desires, or you want moksha, or you have all kinds of material desires, worship Krishna. But that comes to you when you are ready. Till that time, people will worship, like in Parampara, we have worshipped Shiva. We are all Shiva worshippers. I am from a Smarta family. We have always worshipped Shiva. Then eventually I became a Mayavadi. And I thought, okay, Shiva is also a step towards Mayavad, ultimately. You know? So like that, Mataji. So please don't discourage anyone. Please don't find fault with anyone. Let them all carry on with their way of worship. Try to introduce a little bit of Krishna into them. If they are worshipping Shiva, let them also worship Krishna. If they are chanting Om Namah Shivaya, let them also chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let them eat prasadam. Give them little taste of this. That's enough. Give them sukriti. Actually, nobody can claim that I have made a devotee. You know, nobody. Because the souls are traveling. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. They are traveling all over the creation. And here and there, they are accumulating some sukriti. And that sukriti eventually reaches the tipping point. They get Shraddha. Lo and behold, suddenly there is Shraddha in Bhakti. How they get Shraddha in Bhakti? There is the accumulations. You may be the person to add the last straw and they become. How can I take credit for that? So no devotee wants to take credit. The biggest fear of a devotee is that let me not take any credit. Let me give all credit to Krishna and Parampara. Let him give it to my spiritual master. He is all glorious. I am not. You see, Prabhupada always speaking about his spiritual master. And about his disciples, he will say, they are the representatives of my spiritual master. Even to his own disciples, he will say, you are all representatives of my spiritual master. You are giving me a chance to serve you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I am sorry.
So,
Small question I
Prabhuji,
asked. Yes.
Mataji, Shobha
Prabhuji,
Mataji
how do we answer this question? You know, when we believe that Krishna is supreme, like if I have to say, I can quote so many scriptures, Brahma Samhita itself, you know, it makes you so. But then I have once or twice after that I stopped, you know, going too much explanation. They say, like in Shiv, but the Shiv Puran says that Shiv is supreme, you know. So when you come across such questions, what do you say?
Mataji, first question we can ask them is, do you believe in Vyasadeva? Right? Do you believe in Bhagavad Gita? Do you believe in Srimad Bhagavatam? Then please permit me to answer from these scriptures. Right? Because we say, Srimad Bhagavatam pramanam amalam prema pumartho maha. This is what we say. If you are willing to listen from Bhagavad Gita, I will tell you. But if you don't have faith in Bhagavad Gita, I cannot tell you. Eventually, you will understand why Shiva Puran is inferior. You will eventually understand, but you have to give me time. You are already holding on to that, and you are not going to willing to change your mindset. Then I am sorry, I don't want to cause offense to you. You are right in your own way. I don't want to cause offense. But if you are interested by seeing me, seeing the transformation that is happening in me, if you are seeing amazingly how Krishna consciousness is changing my character, personality, I'm sorry, really, we don't have time. Otherwise, I would have read out to you from Prabhupada Leelamrita one small paragraph. Someone has preached in the absence of Srila Prabhupada in Detroit temple. Prabhupada's disciple has preached. And Prabhupada is visiting the temple for the first time. And Prabhupada is seeing all those dancing boys and girls to the Mahamantra. And Prabhupada is saying, just see how they are transforming. How Krishna consciousness is transforming them. This is proof. What more do you want? Let them see. So let them see you, Mataji. By seeing you, they will get attracted. What is that magic which is animating you? I know you before, but what has happened to you now? Why are you so different? You can give it to them. But till that time, don't talk logically. Logic will not work. It is not an intellectual process. It is a heart process. So let us set a good example. Achar prachar. Achar itself is prachar. If we practice Krishna consciousness nicely, people will become attracted to it. It will happen eventually. So let us not worry too much. As we were saying, we add a little sukriti and go on. Give a little sukriti, go on. Give them a little prasad, go on. Don't try to logically transform them and never become disturbed that, oh, I could not make them a devotee. Never take that responsibility on yourself. It is not our problem. We are here as servants of Srila Prabhupada. Just give a little good here and there. Here. Move on. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hari Bol. Prabhuji, can we take one more question? We do have around 5 minutes, if you have time, Prabhuji.
No problem. I have a class to
Mataji
start
has
at 11 o'clock. That's all.
Oh, we'll be quick. Shobha Mataji, you can be little quick. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, like you said, we don't, devotee does not want to take the credit. That's right, Prabhuji, but I am such a fallen soul that when someone is glorifying me, I'll say that all glory is to Prabhupada, and I'll think that, yeah, even I don't want to take the credit. But when I'm serving something and I've put a lot of hard work and no one is, giving the credit, or no one is glorifying me even once, then I'll feel that oh, no one is looking at see how they have just ignored me and all that. So Prabhuji, that time what should I do in a way, because I know that I want that puja pratishtha, I am feeling that, but then how do I avoid these things? And the second thing is like desire. You said to desire, I go for bhoga offering or doing everything for the Lord because I have been told to. If I introspect myself, I feel I am not having that desire to do it for the pleasure of the Lord. Because of my pleasure of tongue, I'm going to offer this particular thing to the Lord. On Ekadashi, I'll not prepare any Anna Prasad for the Lord because I won't be able to eat. So how to avoid these things, Prabhuji? That's my question.
Very beautiful questions. Please take it from me. It applies to me also. Whatever you said. First of all, let us understand we are sadhana bhaktas. In the sense, we are practitioners of bhakti. We are aspirants of bhakti. We are seeing the glories of pure devotees and we are wanting to become like them. We have a desire to become like them. That is what is animating us. We have a desire. We are not devotees. Actually, even though we call each other, I am devotee, you are devotee. We are not devotees actually. We are just practicing devotees. Practicing devotees. One day we will become devotees. One day we will become. Why? Because we are following a genuine path given by the parampara, coming from Lord Krishna himself. Through such a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, we are connecting. Right? So we are all kacha mangoes, We are kacha mangoes. Kacha mango is very bitter. When it is small, it is bitter. It grows bigger, it becomes sour. No fragrance. Eventually, it becomes golden yellow and gives off such beautiful fragrance. Eventually, we become like that. But only thing, we stay connected to the tree by that long, thin stem, connecting. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to do. How to enjoy the wealth of the Father? Prabhupada will say. How to enjoy the wealth of the Father? Just stay alive. It's all yours. Just stay alive. So let us stay alive in Krishna consciousness. We will all get it. We are all like that. So we are, all that we have is a little Shraddha, little Shraddha. We have come to Krishna consciousness. We just practice that and eventually we'll become nice devotees. It applies to all of us. Let us not get disheartened by seeing a pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj and think like, oh, I am not like Prahlad. We are not that. Prema is like iron and gold. We don't know what is prema. Devotees in the level of prema, they are different. They look like us, that's all. They are not us, they are different. So we are on the path. Mahajanoyana gatasya pantha. That's simple. We have to simply follow in their footsteps. So it's so nice that you are feeling this. No, I have puja, labha, pratishtha. But please understand, you understand. I don't have to tell you to understand. You already know puja, labha, pratishtha will never fulfill you. Never fulfill you. You get all the puja you want, all the labha you want, all the pratishtha, you will not fulfill. You will, what is this nonsense? It's not good. It's not satisfying. Your heart is hankering something else. The soul's hankering. Puja, labha, pratishtha is the hankering of the false ego. It will never fulfill you. But the longing of the soul is connection with Krishna. That is the longing of the soul. So when you get that longing fulfilled, you will experience a special joy. That's what we are hankering for. So it's all right that you are aware of these limitations. That's very good, actually. It's a great blessing of the Lord. That Prabhupada is reminding you from within, come on, you don't stop here. Go for something higher, something higher, something higher. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Hari
so much,
Bol.
Prabhuji, for
We have
motivating.
lots of comments here for people wanting to hear more from you, Prabhuji. So we would request you to let us know where we can find you. Jo Minakshi Mataji will tell us, Prabhuji, we will follow it up. Thank you so much. You are also running out
Thank
of
you.
time,
It
Prabhu.
is the audience who decides the effectiveness of the speaker. So I am so glad you have been such eager audience that I was inspired to speak, perhaps more than what I ever wanted to speak. So once again, thanks to all of you. I really look forward to meeting all of you again.
Yes,
Thank you.
Prabhuji, please do try to come again, Prabhuji, as per your time permits. We will really love to have you again. And can we end the class with prayers?
Yeah.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Mattakapatarubyascha
kripa
kripasindhubhya
sindhubhyascha
eva cha
patitanam
patitanam pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
namo
नमः
namo
नमः
Shri
वैष्णव
Vaishnava
वृंद की
Jai
जय
Srila
श्रील
Prabhupada
प्रभुपाद की जय
Srimad
श्रीमद्
Bhagavatam
भागवतम की जय हरे कृष्णा
Hare
Prabhuji and
Krishna
Mataji.
Prabhuji,
Thank you
thank you
very
so
much
much.
for the
Dandavat
wonderful class.
Pranam.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Pranams.
Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Thank you, Guruji. Pranams.
Can I
Hare